So yesterday in part one, when I was talking about how after a while in a situation with a narcissist, if you're close to a person like that, and in every video it can be exhausting, but I always like to clarify what a narcissist is and talk about that balance, because it really just doesn't fit under one label, and there's so many misconceptions out there about narcissism and narcissistic abuse and what it all really is. Anyway, a little disclaimer as well, my videos are just for educational purposes, just sharing experience and awareness. But yesterday I put out a video talking about how when you're around a narcissistic person who's high on the narcissistic spectrum, who has narcissistic personality disorder for whatever reason, whatever happened to them, and you know, it can be different for different people. Everybody's going to have a different experience with these types of individuals, but it's also going to have similar patterns. This is where people get all confused and jumbled up. Anyway, I was talking about how if you're around someone like that long enough, you really get conditioned to have to start hiding your happiness. You become conditioned. The longer you're around it, you become afraid because you know something is going to happen. You're either going to hear about it or it's going to depress them. See part one to know what I was talking about and get the details of that. But building on to part one yesterday, not only do you start feeling conditioned and not wanting to express joy or happiness, and I mean, as time goes on, it really starts to take a lot out of your own personality. You find yourself not only hiding the fact that you used to get delighted over this or you used to enjoy that, but it can also change your personality to where you don't pursue major things in life that you need to pursue that are important to your well-being and your life. It can start to chip away at your soul that much, where you're giving so much time, energy, and attention to the narcissist for their needs. And if they're addicted on top of that personality, but that can start to happen. And that's a lot of what kind of happened to me. It happened slowly over time. It doesn't dawn on a person at first. Maybe not the first year, the second year. That's not the first thing you're going to want to think about somebody is, underneath that loving surface of theirs where they are loving me and, my partner, they actually are resentful of me because every time I get joyous about something or I'm enjoying something, even though my heart is full and wants to share that with them, they are actually competing with me under that mask, under that surface. They feel resentful towards me. It is shocking. It is a shocking thing to discover. And so in this video, I kind of just want to touch on, guys, it reminds me of, how little children on the playground, there will always be a playground bully or a kid that feels left out, a child that's being probably abused or traumatized at home, ignored, abandoned, ridiculed. Somebody's not spending time with them. They're being shamed, made to feel emotionally like they don't matter. Something's going on with them, physical abuse, something. Okay, and I know what it feels like to be that kid. I know that mentality. And oftentimes that kid will go to school and pick on the other kids, bully the other kids that are happy and minding their own business and content in their own world. It's not their fault, okay? Children just don't have the reasoning, the emotional intelligence. They can't speak up about it. A lot of them don't even know any better. They don't know that it's not normal. They've known that it's been going on all their life and they don't know yet that it's not normal. So they won't go and tell. Or, a lot of times children have so much trouble articulating and verbalizing their emotions, processing their emotions, reasoning, understanding what's even going on. So oftentimes they'll take it out on other kids. And I know that mentality because I was that kid. Not only was I bullied a lot in my younger elementary and preschool, junior high days, picked on, I felt terrible about myself coming from an abusive home. I had low self-esteem. I felt stupid, ugly. I didn't fit in. That's what I felt like. Even though I had a couple friends or two here or there, and eventually I hit a certain age and I started running with a lot older people and left school behind. Still yet, that's how I felt on the inside. And I was picked on. I never felt good about myself in school. But I also had a streak in me when I was really, really small that I was in so much pain in my home and the way I was growing up and what I was having to endure that I would also pick on kids who I thought were younger or weaker than me. I had a streak in me that would, yes. And so relating this all back to the narcissistic brain, okay? That's what it reminds me of. And I had a lot of insight into that because of how I grew up. Luckily, I got a wonderful therapist at a very young age. I had great mentors, and I'm so thankful that they got a hold of me young enough to where I could heal some and come through a lot of those deep-rooted and painful issues, so that I didn't carry that all of my life. But some kids do, okay? Some people with narcissistic personality disorder or high-level narcissistic tendencies have been traumatized in childhood in some way, or they've had something happen to them that they split off and they had that mentality and they never got back in. They never really got to resolve or heal those issues and work through those things. And so they have this certain mentality, even in adulthood or middle age, similar to the children on the playground, similar to those children, because of the fact that part of a narcissistic, highly narcissistic person's brain, their emotional intelligence and emotional maturity, coping skills and relating to others and empathy, part of that doesn't develop. Part of that is underdeveloped. And because of that emotional immaturity, they are thinking along those same lines. When they are in relationships and things are going wrong, they're not getting their way, or they're seeing you happy. It's a devastating thing to really have to learn about and experience, to find out that, you're in a relationship with a grown-ass person, but they're not with you. They are not on the same page as you as far as loving them, adoring them, wanting the best for them, really on this emotionally mature level. They're not feeling the same thing about you. They can't.